Shalom. There's all this talk of racial tension, NFL, athletes taking a knee, the end of the world, Niburu, the Messiah. What does it all mean? Let's talk about it. Baruch Hashem YHWH, Baruch Hashem YHWH, Beth knows the feet YHWH. This is a new series that will also be in my channel called Let's Talk. It won't be a lot of frequent posts, but I would talk about a conglomerate of topics in this series. So my other series, Becoming Enlightened, I haven't made any videos over the past 2 Sundays because of various things. Last Sunday was Day of Atonement for me, and when you're fasting, I didn't really have the energy to make the type of video I wanted to make. So just stay tuned. Next week Sunday, I will get back on making my Becoming Enlightened videos. I still have another video to talk more about stones. So there's been a lot of talk about planet Niburu and planet X, and it's been floating around for quite some time now. Interesting enough, I remember when I was in middle school that my science textbook, I went to a Catholic middle school, my science textbook had the planet X on our list of planets. This is years ago. So the question here is, does the planet really exist? I don't know. I'm not an astronomer, and if the government wanted to hide something from you, they surely have the ability to. So to try to say you're going to go basically off of science and of what public information is, you will be sadly mistaken, because there is a lot of information out there that is kept hidden from the public eyes. The word Nibiru means crossing. I think it's Sumerian language. You can fact check me, but in the Sumerian language, Nibiru just means an object or planetary body crossing a plane. So if we look at Revelations and other scriptures, we do know there is some type of planetary body out there. It's in the scriptures. So we do know that something is headed this way. But nobody knows when, and nobody knows exactly what it is. So the question here is, if there was something that was near and entering, do you think NASA would tell you? Why would they cause mass panic? Why would a government or a world body that has been controlling the populace for all these years really care enough to give you any information? Just think about that. Why do we put so much faith in these people that care nothing for us? Everything is about making money. Everything is about control. But then, and when it comes to something that we possibly don't understand, we don't try to go and study it ourselves. What we tend to do is we tend to go look on news on YouTube at all these major channels, and okay, NASA said it isn't real. Okay, CNN said it isn't real, so it must not be real. But then when it comes to other topics, we don't believe them. That's very selective. That's foolish, in my opinion. So here it is. Whether Nibiru or Planet X or this planetary body exists really does not matter. What matters is what you are doing to better yourself, to better your mind, to better your community, to better the people around you. How are you affecting other lives? How are you positively impacting this world? That's what matters. The other stuff around it is just a distraction. We know the world is coming to an end. Not in the way that it is portrayed on movies and in Hollywood. The end of the world basically is the end of the system. Listen, no matter what happens in this planetary body, Gaia, Earth, whatever you want to call it, will always be here. The people that inhabit it may not be here because of some catastrophic event that man has put on itself, but it will always be here. This system is already falling. The end of the world is now. Look at the dollar. Look at the currencies. Look at the governments. Look at the wars. Look at the protests. What do you think this is? The end of the world. Everything that you believed it to be. How many truths are coming out? How much information is now being released? One of the biggest lies ever told to us was Jesus. When we study, we learn that the letter J has not even existed for more than 400 years. And the man they called Jesus existed way before that. So his name couldn't be Jesus. This is a lie that was told for generations. This brings the question, how many of it is lies? How much more lies exist that we believe is true? This is why I tell people to stick to practical, to stick to fact, to stick to what works. Because there's so much information. Think about it, years and years of information. If somebody was lying 700 years ago and that was carried on for 700 years, there is almost no way possible to know if it is a lie or not, because everything surrounding that lie will support that lie. And a group mentality of people will support that lie. It's just the way the world works. It's the way that we made it work. It's the way that we believe it to work. We're like little babies looking up at these big parents that is teaching us everything that is false. So we take it as truth. And when anyone goes against that grain, we almost automatically try to toss them to the wind as foolishness, as conspiracy, or as a lie. We never take the time to ridicule or be discretionary about the information that we take. One of the most interesting things is almost common knowledge among Gentiles and Hebrew Israelites, or as the world like to call them, blacks and Caucasians, when there's a huge separation of those two things. I tell people all the time, there's only two types of people in the world. You have righteous people and you have unrighteous. That's it. No matter what skin color, no matter what nationality, no matter what race, no matter what gender. The interesting thing about this is that nationality doesn't exist. Patriotism does not exist. These borders that border countries does not exist. It's not real. It is not real. You're fighting for nothing. We are all one. And it baffles me when I hear people that say, oh, I don't want a one world government. You are already one world. You all human beings. You all bleed the same. You all think the same, have the same ideas. What's wrong with everyone working together towards a common goal? I don't get it. Some people try to call it all these derogatory names. I call it just being a human being, being loving, being righteous. We all should be striving to be like YHWH. We all should be striving to be like God. Point blank. And what does that entail? That entails everything, from the way of thinking, from the lifestyle, from what we eat, to how we treat each other. It's all striving to be righteous. So, like I said, common knowledge that Yeshua, or quote unquote Jesus, was a dark-skinned, melanated individual. That is common knowledge. it is common knowledge now that the original inhabitants of these great kingdoms, of these great universities of ancient times, were colored and melanated people. It is common knowledge in almost all facets of the planet, in all these religions, which I'm not for religion at all, that the great master teachers were colored, melanated individuals. Well, let me tell you something. Those color, melanated, black, whatever you want to call it, individuals were Hebrew Israelites. Which is why when you look at history and you look at these old pictures and you see these people walking with them with their hair tied, with these diadems on, it's obvious what culture they came from. And yes, the NFL, everyone taking a knee, this great racial tension, Charlottesville, it is inevitable. Do you know why? Because there's something secret hidden about the so-called African American people, the so-called Afro-Caribbean people that inhabit this part of the planet. They refuse to tell you the truth about who they are and where they came from, where they were brought from for slavery, and what happened. Because you then find out that, oh, these people weren't just slaves and just hopping around with a loincloth and with a spear, like the movies like to portray, or running through the forest. It was nothing like that. Our ancestors were rich beyond rich. And our city, our borderlines, our countries were stolen from us. Suddenly, the kneeling during the anthem has become a protest against the American flag in the United States. Well, when Colin Kaepernick originally took a knee, it was in protest of the brutality, of police brutality. Let's not stray away from the message here. These people with these badges has taken it out of control now. Not every last one of them, because I'm friends with some people that are law enforcement, but a great deal of them are just abusing their power. They're abusing all races. But I'm sorry to tell you, people of my color are targeted all our lives. We are in fear every time we leave our homes. Other races may have statistics of being shot, statistics of dying, the statistics of things related to police brutality. But I tell you, almost 100% of my race encounter some type of police encounter every day. Every day. And it's always in the back of our minds that, hey, we might not make it home today. And like I said, I don't like my videos to be over a certain amount, so I'm going to end it here. But here's another topic I'm going to discuss with you. If the Messiah was to come today, would you know who it was? How would you know? Because in these societies, is where we live in now, we base everything off of money and wealth and this boisterous attitude. Would you know? Okay, for scriptural reference, we know that Yeshua Jesus was black. We know that all the saints or prophets were also black. So if a Messiah showed up today, how would you know? Just a simple question. Would you expect someone to be floating on a cloud with doves flying around them? Is that the picture that's painted for you by Hollywood? Let's be real. Think about it. If you read the New Testament, What happened to Jesus, Yeshua? What did he do? Why did the soldiers of the city come for him? Did he do anything wrong? Okay, let's imagine what happened to Yeshua, Jesus, if it was today, 2017, or 1990. Pick a date. Jesus, Yeshua, walking around town, Son of God, healing people, teaching people, teaching them how to work on their own, teaching them the scriptures, teaching them how to become rich, teaching them how to worship, pulling them away from the government. Think about it. Giving them information where they can become self-sustainable. Will the news channels, will Fox News, CNN, will they air this? Will they show this great being that is helping everyone? Would they? Think about it. Everything he's doing is going to break the system. That means that you no longer have to go to doctors. You no longer will be locked up for all this mischievous stuff. You will no longer need to work because you're learning how to become self-sustainable. And guess what will happen? The police, the soldiers of the city. Same thing in Rome. Same thing back then, will come and take away this guy because he's causing a disruption. The people in power will come and take away this person, and they will try to dirty their name, dirty their works as much as possible, because the information he is teaching is going to hurt my system. The interesting thing about the Messiah, what you cannot stop, is once he has released the information and how to free yourself and how to go back to Yahweh, how to go back to YHWH, it cannot be stopped. It is done. It sets off a chain reaction of what? The end of the world.
My life be like, yeah. My life be like.